Not really sure why that audio wasn't working, but here we go. Bear with me for a second while I get this shared out. I can't even. There we go. Just going to post this right here. Share. And then, real quick, right here. Okay. And this is being streamed over Wi-Fi, so it's a little bit of a... not sure really. I mean, it looks like it's doing pretty good, though. Anyway. All right, that's good. So, what we have here today are the Goggles X. And it is really cold and really windy and almost dark out here. So I wanted to get this really quick video done. Very first impressions of these new goggles. So far, they're okay. They're not spectacular by any means. And I think the number one thing I keep going back to is they are probably not worth full price. Total disclaimer is I am technically a Walksnail team pilot, whatever that means. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. I did get these for a fairly good discount, which is one of the only reasons I bought them. The face foam does not fit my face at all. I have these huge gaps in the sides right here. It feels like the goggles are just flat on my face, like there's no curve going to my face whatsoever. Other than that, the foam is fairly comfortable. The original foam, they were shipped with a different type of foam that was not, it's like the Newbie Drone style foam. Not great. Didn't help at all. But I think if I were to put like some wedges or something right in here, so if I do that, it's perfect. But it just leaves a lot of gaps right here. Right now I've got HDMI out on this thing. Let's see. So this is, right now, this is my quad. As you can see, this is the quad. And I've got an HDMI out going to the Walksnail, or going to my streaming system. But I also have a old VRX style, and I believe that would be this one right here. Anyway, that's my quad telling me, let's go ahead and fly. So this is going to be straight from the goggles DVR right here. And let's just go from there and see. This is literally the very first time I've flown these goggles, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just going to put these on and we're just going to fly them. Okay. And off the bat, I am not connecting to the drone. That could be why. It was still on team race mode for some reason. Not really sure why. There we go. I'm in 1080p standard bitrate right now because I can't do HDMI out with the high bitrate. Yes, it's Christmas time. This is December 26th, right? No, December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. So this is me right here. Everything being set up. But they seem, I mean, the screen is big, but it's really not, like, it's fine. I mean, I'm only looking at the middle of the screen anyway, so it's not that terrible. What do we have? 25 megabits, 37 milliseconds. That's because we're in standard frame rate. But really, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to fly around. I have like 2 batteries. I'm just going to fly around the yard for a little bit. How I would normally. Let's go behind this. Let's see what happens if I go directly behind my house. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely, you can see the bit rate kind of shot down. I don't know if you, it didn't look like it showed it on the goggles, but the bit rate did go down. I could tell. I mean, you know, this is, I'm used to flying with my Orcas with the VRX on it, and it's really not that much of a difference as far as the standard frame rate and all that business. But man, these this is much better, I believe, than the VRX was as far as being able to fly out here without getting any kind of low. You can tell my bit rate down there, megabits, just at 25 right now, which is fine. But you can tell it's pretty dang good compared to the other ones. The other ones were not great. Now this is, I'm flying a little bitty drone that is not great for windy situations. But this, I mean, this is pretty good. Honestly, I didn't even notice, now that I remember, that I had these light leaks on the outsides of my face from the foam, but I didn't really notice. As I'm flying, I don't really notice it. It doesn't bother me. I do know that it looks really good, though. I mean, the 1080p, this is the first time I fly in Walksnail in 1080p. I usually fly in 720. Because of the Orca goggles with the VRX, 720 was really the only thing you could do with those, I believe. But this is, man, this looks good. What? That's some weird looking, I don't know what that is. My battery's getting low, so I'm just going to come land this one, put a new battery on. Again, this is going to be a really short stream. All I'm doing is just doing first impressions of these goggles. That's one thing. Every time I reach up here to move the goggles, I hit this button. Every single time I reach up and hit the button. I just did it again. So maybe I should use my left hand, but I use my left hand to hold this, my controller. So I'm not really, every time I reach up here, reach up here and grab this and touch the button on it. All right, let me grab these. This is the quad that I'm flying right now. It's just a GEP RC, but I built it. It's just the frame, really. 2.5 or 3, Cinelog 3 inch frame with the GoPro. That's one battery. I'm gonna put this other battery on just real quick. And it looks like the Wi-Fi is working very well. I will plug this in. Okay, so that one was on the lens. Is pretty dirty on this thing too. Even with the dirty lens, it still looked really good. All right, that one was on the output of this thing, HDMI output. So this battery, I'm gonna do the output of my VRX unit, which I believe is, let's see, if I undo this, yeah, that would be this. So that's the output of the VRX, which is the old VRX. And then I wonder, I'm just going to try this real quick to see if this works or not. I am going to try to put this in 1080 or high frame rate. See what happens. Does my VRX stay on? Look, VRX is still on. and I have high frame rate. I can't change the bit rate though at all in the goggles. Is that normal? I guess that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know. But yeah, so now I'm not connected with the goggles. Right now you are just seeing the VRX that I have just plugged directly into my streaming unit. So, and then I had the high bit rate on this. So let's see if that changes anything. Oh man, just touching the thing constantly. Yeah, so you see, okay. Here, why don't we do this real quick? I'm going to put me in there so you can see my beautiful face. Right here. There I am. Right over my little... here we go. We can change that around. Let's put it right over here. A little bit bigger. And of course, I'm going to change this real quick to that. And there we go. All right. So now you'll see me with the goggles. The drone's down there. And let's see if this high bit rate. Now my OSD just like switched off to the side. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see how the OSD sort of like right here, the OSD just kind of went off to the side for some reason. I don't know why. But whatever, that doesn't bother me. So now we're in high frame rate. And this isn't the best quad to test this high frame rate thing. Whoa. Because this is my cinematic quad. This quad isn't designed to fly crazy. Oh, but I do see the bitrate dropping back here. I do not have focus mode on, which I usually do fly with focus mode. Alright, so you can tell my latency is up pretty high, which to me means that the frame rate didn't actually change. Is that the case? Let's see. Alright. I don't even know if anything has changed. If I go to change this, I mean it's on high. But I don't know if it actually has changed or not. No idea. Because my frame rate goes up. $30 milliseconds, 29, 37 milliseconds. I wonder if I have to restart the goggles or something, if that's the case. But honestly, this doesn't, I don't feel any difference in this frame rate than standard. So I'm not really sure what is happening. But this is all just the very first time. I haven't looked at any kind of instructions of how to do any of this stuff or what's supposed to work with what. This is literally just straight out of the box, put a battery in the quad and hook it up to my streaming unit and fly just to see what it looks like. Everything is updated to the very, I did do that. I updated everything. The goggles came with the update already in them. So I updated my VRX and all of my air units. But this doesn't seem like it's really doing anything. I'm going to change this back real quick, see what happens. To standard. It'll probably blink on you, right? Nope. I don't know. Well, anyway. And fly this real quick. Oh, maybe there is a little bit of difference. I could tell a little bit more delay. Yeah, you can see that 40 milliseconds down there now. Delay. So there was a little bit of difference, huh? Yeah, definitely. I can feel this delay. Let's go up and over here. Where we were cutting out earlier. Look at all these squirrel nests up here. Bird nests. Oh man, that's almost like a 3D. Oh man, that's weird. With the way the bitrate is compressing some of this stuff, I don't know if you can see that like I can see it, but the tops of these trees look almost like it's 3D. What a weird thing. Yeah, those milliseconds are up pretty high. So maybe the frame rate did adjust. Man, that is super trippy. The last few milliamps of this battery, I'm going to change it back. To high. Okay. Just do the same thing. Yeah. It's 10 milliseconds of a difference. And I could definitely feel that 10 milliseconds, but it's still a little slow, honestly. This battery's getting low, so I'm just going to do this little dive here. Right back in. Man, this quad floats like crazy. So first impressions, I think these goggles are going to serve the purpose that I want, and that's really to use in a professional setting. It's to use the HDMI out to a monitor for a client to be able to see what I see, and to try to frame shots and whatnot. I didn't want to take the orcas around with the stuff hanging off of it and wires just everywhere. It just looked ridiculous, and this just looks way better. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of LEDs on anything, so I'm probably just going to turn these off. I do have the patches. I'm going to try the patches eventually, but right now, I mean, I'd rather just have no patches, because if you noticed, I was looking down as I was flying. So the patches are just looking down. So patches fixed on the front of the goggles don't make sense to me for my case. Anyway, I think, like I said, they're going to serve their purpose. They're going to be, for my use, they're going to be fine. I could tell the right OLED, as far as overheating, the right OLED is definitely a little slightly dimmer and a different tint of color than the left one. So it seems I do have the overheating issue with these goggles that some people have, some people don't have. But I'm not really going to be using them more than 15 minutes at a time, with them staying on. So I don't see that really affecting me that much at all. So, let's see, can we brighten this up a little bit? There we go. So I think it's going to work for me. It definitely beats carrying those orcas around with all the crazy wires and stuff hanging off of it. So that was kind of the whole reason. I probably wouldn't be extremely happy if I were to have paid the 400 and however much these goggles were without the discount that I got. For what I paid for it, it's okay. I'm not pissed, but it's not the, I don't think, I mean, the screens look great. The screens are nice and bright. Like, the right OLED is even dimmer now than it was before. So I've only been on for 30, not even 30 minutes, 20 minutes. and these goggles have been on for maybe that long, and it's 40 degrees out here right now. It's really cold. So I don't know. They'll work for me, but I can't say that these are a replacement for any of my standard definition stuff, or even to do anything other than just once every so often out on a shoot somewhere, using them just for a little bit. That's pretty much all these are going to be used for. So anyway, that's my first impressions of these. I'm going to do a little bit more with them later, but for now, that's all we've got. So thanks for watching, and see you next time, I guess.